Okay.
So nervous.
Why nervous?
No, nervous because stomach.
Okay.
It's okay. You calm my nerves down.
Hi, welcome everybody to another episode of GMT8. Today we have Jerry Chen of USAN Southeast Asia. He's the group CEO. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
All right. Basically, with Jerry's company, he brings the ultimate store experience to Southeast Asia, bringing be it sights, sound, and perhaps even touch.
Scent.
But if you want touch, it's different. That's personal.
That one is like borderline in trouble.
Cross sell. Okay, well, great to have you here together with us. So share with us, how did you get into this whole in-store experience thing?
Wow, this is a very long story.
We're here for stories. We're here for stories.
Yes.
It's many years ago, more than about a decade and a half. So I started off by firing my ex-boss. I only worked for someone once. So it was
Wait. You fired your boss.
Means I quit lah.
Okay. That's the understanding I'm trying to get lah. Okay, well done.
Yeah. So I left and without a job. I was flipping through the newspaper and saw one day that there was this guy who said only his wife is the person that appreciates his music. Nobody else give a damn. Nobody else care.
Right.
So that is where I thought, hey, these musicians know how to create and personalize songs. So can I get someone's love story, love journey, and put that as a song? So your deep blue eyes on this specific date, your long wavy brown hair, etc. So that failed because need versus want. The wife or the girlfriend may want to have that song, but they don't need to have that song. Mm-hmm. That's when I was having coffee, pondering about our business, and later on I received a phone call from this Straits Times Singapore. It was our very first press article to be released, and they covered about what we do. Of course, I never say about the failure lah. Nobody buy, but I just give the concept only. And later on, we got calls from non-carpers, and they were from the production line, the radios, the video productions, the people who do the advertisements. They came to us. And they say that, you know what, I love your crowdsourcing idea. Because when I crowdsource, I don't have just a one piece or two piece of songs to share the jingle or the background music in a video or advertisement to my clients. But I have 10, 20, 30, 50 music that is personalized for me. And then you let your client choose, the end users. When they have the ability to choose, they have the option, then they feel that they are in control, in power. So the production line actually came to us. Yeah, when the production line came to us, it was like interesting, but not interesting for a business model. Back then we were raising funds, venture cap, angel investors. We can only do accumulated revenue, because if we look on a month to month, this month I hit very high revenue. Next 2 months, kosong. Zero. Nothing at all. So it's not very beautiful. And we are not able to raise funds. And that's when I have coffee again. And this time round, what is playing on the background? BGM, background music, piping music. Some people call it elevator music. So many terms, soundscape. And that is where we look into this period of time when Spotify, KKBox, Deezer back then, they were in the market, and I was, wow, these people have millions of dollars. I can't fight them. So if we can't fight them, what is that blue ocean strategy that we can look into on the other side and not being red ocean? And that is where we created this BGM. Who's the need? Who has the need? Where's the wants? We learned from our first business mistake.
Right.
And where was that blue ocean for you?
Who needs to have
Yeah.
music without advertisement? That is our F&B, our retail, and also hoteliers. And we see a problem. There are three main problems. The very first one, legal compliance. Now, music, you need to have your PROs, CMOs, and these collective management organizations or performing rights organizations need to collect the licensing money from you.
Yeah.
And most of our commercial parties don't really care until they get the letter, they get the fine. Yeah. When things happen, just like, insurance, in health, things happen, then you say, I should have. Too late already.
Yeah.
Then the second one is compliance. When it comes to management, brand management, audio branding, you can have sushi and it's playing K-pop or even Chinese music because the captain likes this sort of music and he likes to play whatever he or she likes, or maybe the marketing executive likes this music, this song. They will stream that song because it's personal liking. But when you look at commercial branding itself, we need to be aligned with all the outlets, not only in the country but also regionally.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a brand alignment, management. And the third one is the ability to do insertion of voiceovers where you got promotion, or even most of the time people ask, are we a music company? I say no, because we are giving a service that is operationally readily convenient for them. When your music is not up, when your promotion is streaming last month or 2 months ago's voiceover, it's just not right. So that is where we have pride ourselves in the area of customer service and being operationally ready. When you need support, content strategy, we come in. When you need support operationally, when the music is not up and running, it might be your amplifier, it might be your speaker, it could be your wiring, it could be your internet. We come in, we help you on that. So again, are we a music company? No, we cannot be seen as a music company. Where is the pain point? The inconveniences. That is where we step in.
Right.
Yeah. Need versus want, that is a need. We are looking at being the Panadol and not the vitamin.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, but you see, when you started this business, of course, there's a need. And you learned from your mistakes and stuff. How different is from where you started to where you are now, the needs and wants of the customer? How different it is, and even the understanding of the needs, because sometimes people don't know what they don't know, right? So until they like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
How different is it from the past and now?
I think the changes across the decade is quite exciting. And that is also the reason why we've expanded in recent years into the other two assets, which is sight, using digital signages, and also scent, the smell. So when we look into this spectrum, it's not just the vertical or the feature, it's about the operation readiness. When your scent is down, or when you need to curate the entire sensory experience, the process of buying, consumer behavior, when they step into the store, in a retail outlet, in a F&B, or even in a hotel, what are the touch points from that sensory experience that you are able to engage? That is where the operation side, we look into ensuring that the scent is there, your digital signage is showing the right promotion, and it's up. Offline, online plays a different. Yes, there's cash, but many times when it's a blank screen outlet, you do not know. In fact, we inform the clients first. Do you know this outlet is offline? Do you know that this is not streaming the right one? Can you please get the internet connected? So there's a lot more of that form of support beyond just cheap digital signage or low cost scent that you can buy from even a supermarket in Aeon, for example. But it is more on a commercial reliability, and I go very strongly on trust.
Right.
Trust is built over the number of years and experience you have with people and with brands and commercial parties. So it's beyond just pipe in music,
Right.
scent, or even digital signage where people all cost cheap can already. It is expensive to be cheap. There's a price to pay for.
But when you say scent, here's the interesting about scent. How do you match a scent to a client? What's the criteria when it comes to scent?
So be it scent
Yeah.
or even the digital signage content and the music is about the profile. Whose profile? Two.
Yep.
One is the business personality, the brand personality. How
Understand.
would they like to be portrayed? And second, who are your target audience? And target audience have subdivision: the influencer, the decision maker, the gatekeeper, the one who's saying, no, you bring your kid down to Toys R Us. The gatekeeper would be the mother. No, cannot. The kid will be the influencer. But daddy, I want. Mommy say cannot. Then the decision maker, the father, buy lah. So that is where the fragrances, the music, the content on the digital signage plays a very important role.
Yeah.
The mood that is set in and the feeling is the X factor that we never know. So there are a lot of science behind it. As much as we say it's unquantifiable, we have a ton of research and case study papers that say this said flora, the intensity, or maybe this particular note, the top note, the bass, the middle notes.
Yeah.
There are a lot of technical configurations, but leave it to the experts.
Just like music, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree. And when it comes to scent, if you think about it, you look at, we all know Famous Amos the cookies, right? You look at Famous Amos shop, it's always located near an elevator. Not elevator, escalator, because the scent travels. If you look at, just go lah, see Famous is either near a door or a place where air travels. So that people like walking around, I know that smell. And then you go. So basically that, it's familiarity and stuff like that. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So when it comes to when you first ventured into scent, right, was it an easy sell for you? You know, because I'm imagining that not every single business owner may appreciate that.
Well, it is not easy in the first place, but that is where it is challenging positively.
Yeah.
It's more than just what is seen on the surface. Whether F&B, for example, you say, why would I have scent? It doesn't relate to me. But do you know there are a lot of coffee scent that we pipe in? I wouldn't say which clients. It's actually from us. And then there's certain floral scents for certain bubble tea shop, for example. That itself can spur a higher buying behavior. And there's even auto masking type of scenting that brings down soya sauce smell in Chinese restaurants. Those were the requests that we have, and we have to show the research papers. We let them know that this won't affect their food served, but in fact it will help create familiarity,
Right.
memory, and that's where the conditioning of the psychology of consumers kick in. Now all these are on the surface, but on the back end, the partners that we have, the chemicals that go into the scent, the logistics, because scenting, for example, is classified as dangerous goods. So
Yeah,
there's a
fair
lot of things that come into play that is not seen on the surface. It's not just, this is a beautiful scent. Does it match? How does it correlate to an experience overall? And what will people think of you when they smell you?
Yeah. And do you have any numbers based on your experience, right, in terms of the differences in, be it returning customers or in terms of like buying behavior? Any industry.
There are a lot of stories compiled. So from scent to sight to sound itself. For example, there's been this very old classical story on, if I don't remember wrong, it's a Canadian supermarket that sells 2 rows and racks of wine, and typically German wine, French wine. On French music days, French wine sold more. On German music days, in which our Canadians friends, they don't know the language, but they are influenced subconsciously. In our head office in Japan, Tokyo, we did an experiment with 200 over outlets, A/B testing. Half of them with voiceovers promoting Christmas log cakes. The other one, just music, nothing else. 9 out of 10 consumers who purchased the log cakes said that, no, I didn't hear the voiceover, but more than 20% revenue increase on just the log cakes.
Right.
Only one person said, yeah, I heard it, and that's why I buy. The other 9, why did I buy? Subconscious influence. People do persuasion from day to day, from business to even relationships and many other aspects in life. But it is the same also in a retail F&B setting. How do you persuade people to buy more?
Not just buy more.
Power of suggestions.
Yes, the power of suggestion is very subconsciously we are affected by input everywhere we go. Even now we're sitting down, there's sight smells and lights and everything that it influences us based on what you think. But your business model, I'm sure when you started it, there was not many people in the market doing this. Everybody's like, just play music lah, just turn on radio and just
Spotify.
What's the point? There's no importance to it. Okay, how much have you changed the market to more people being players in it?
Well, we emphasize a lot of pain.
Yes.
In my military days, my officer always say, pain is good. Very pain is very good. Love pain. Sounds sadistic, but in a way, on business sense, it actually makes sense.
Right.
Dollar and cents.
Yeah.
And that is where we look into how this is being magnified into just not what most F&B and retailer and hotel managers look at. Oh, it's just music, it's just pipe in like what you see, Spotify. You're just doing the feature job. But when things go down and it's not right, it's wrong, and that's where you feel the pain. Like, oh, how come the music's not alike? You didn't know that your staff from other outlets are playing music that they personally like. They are playing popular songs for the sake of following the herd mentality, the elephant mentality. So that is where we want to say, do you have a purpose of doing so? When you put a certain scent, when you put a certain digital signage out there, do you want to be taken care of?
Right.
And not just putting it for the sake of putting, because there are a lot of digital signage that went blank, become a white elephant. You put the fragrances pipe in, but people just smell like toilet leh. So that is where we step in professionally, curate the experience from a marketing surface top line point of view, and on the cost effectiveness where we look into licensing. How do we understand to protect you not only in the compliance, but the ability to ensure that certain solutions and services are delivered promptly.
Right.
Yeah. So it's more than just the smell, the sight, and the sound. It's more than just that.
So interesting. Okay, can you do this for me? Walk me through. I'm a client. Hi, I've got this business. What's the process? Just walk me through so that people understand what they get when they walk in, like tick, tick, tick. Hi, Jerry. I got this business. Now what? What's the process?
Yes. So very simple, in just a few steps. Let's say 3 steps. Number 1, let's understand yourself as a personality, as a brand, and we like to know who are you wanting to attract. And from there, we will get the big picture first.
Right.
Sound, sight, and sense, all the same. Second, we want to know what is your pain point. So pain point operationally, most of the time the bosses may not know. The marketing side do not understand that as well, but they get their own pain point in voice over deliveries, jingle. How do we get certain sticky notes of a certain sonic logo be in the minds? So there are a lot of pain points. We want to understand operationally. Oh, Saturday, Sunday, nobody attends to you. And many times they share with us, the music stopped, the amplifier spoiled. The supplier already sold you, and sorry, you can no longer contact me. Because when you set the retail's physical space out, very often the main con will sub to the subcon.
Yeah,
And then the subcon will disappear. You don't know who give you the amplifier, the speaker, and such, or even the sound machine. It's just there, but you do not know who to contact. So we want to know your pain points.
Right.
And the last part is to understand, what do you want to achieve? Do you want to have familiarity? Do you want to make people stay longer? Certain time of the day, certain day of the week, got different audience for your F&B.
Correct.
If we look at IKEA, they themselves family-oriented, but different type of family groups. There are 3 groups, in fact. Young couples is one group. The second group is multi-generational families, from the grandfather to the son to the grandson stage. And then the third one are people with kids, newborn, going into
New family lah.
Yeah, so you cannot target everybody.
Correct.
I want everybody, that's the greed. But less is more. More is less.
Yeah.
So that is where we focus on that 20% that brings the 80% revenue.
Right. So that's what you get when you walk in.
Yes.
And so what, in order for you to get those statistics, that's where your split testing comes in.
Yes. And we'll see the results from there. Yeah.
So
10 years of the experiments. Okay, you've got a lot of data in your hands, so that nowadays it's easy for you to just come up with a profile for somebody because of your data. On that note, how much is AI going to come into the play?
AI comes in very, very, very strongly nowadays. Yes. From music curation to creation to how we understand the personalities and the target audience. It will be faster, more productive, and on point.
Right. So AI is there lah. It's coming in lah and exploring.
It's already in.
Yeah. So what has been the most significant impact of AI for your business?
It comes in a very broad spectrum.
Right.
So it helps us in how we curate our playlists.
Yeah.
It helps us with voiceovers. I think we heard a lot of voiceovers nowadays. They are machine based.
Yeah.
It's still not very polished.
Yeah.
It's still not very human-like yet. I think it will get there eventually.
Yeah.
Not yet. So that assists us a little bit, but we still have the human touch to it.
Of course.
The production, the post-production and stuff. So there are a lot of areas that AI can help us being productive.
Right.
And understanding deeper and more accurately. So this is how it helps us on the broader business spectrum.
All right.
Yeah, and even internal when people call in, operational. So we have always been very strong, taking pride in being operationally ready.
Right.
So that is where people call in using WhatsApp, open channel. On our side, we are able to respond quickly.
Because of AI.
Yes, to
Those
understand
little
actually
things.
most of the time what are your problems?
Yep.
What could the likelihood be like? Is it online, offline, and more to it? Do you need
Right.
a voiceover to pursue certain promotion? Do you need a new refresh jingle to enhance people's recall of your brand?
Right. All those important things. Okay, cool. We've got so much more we want to discuss with you, but here's a question that I don't want you to answer yet. All right. When you're 15 to you're 17, you had a dream of being something. I want to see how far it is from that 16, 17 mind to the man sitting next to us.
Wow.
We'll talk about that next, but first we're going to take a short break and pay attention to our little sponsors. But thanks. We'll be back.
Groove Asia, the world's #1 digital marketing software platform and fastest growing entrepreneurship community, is now free for life. Your complete digital products and services online sales system. All the tools you want to run your internet business. Everything you need to sell products and services online. No credit card, zero fees. It's just free. Discover the new better way to start an online business, build websites, and sell digital products. Create a full website with unlimited products and funnels, with free hosting, subdomain, and custom domain capability, and with more integrations so you can automate your business. It's truly the last online sales system you will ever need. Save thousands a month with free lifetime access to the top most powerful apps in the industry, including the #1 leading page and funnel building platform in the world, with thousands of brand new members making a switch over every single day. Plus, get free access to our private community, free live training, and free affiliate marketing business opportunity. Discover how to get started for free, secure your free lifetime membership today, and access your free software, training, and bonuses right now. Free for a limited time, only at grooveasia.ca.
All right, welcome back. Thank you so much. We're still here with Jerry. Now, Jerry, what do you want to be when you're 15, 16, 17, around there? Do you remember or not?
I don't remember very
is it like
clearly.
too far away? It's like
Nah, I think I'm alright with that memory. It's just only about 3-4 years ago.
I like that. I like that. Of course.
Yeah.
3-4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Decade in the industry already.
Those days, I think we're just very focused on the short term.
Yeah, of course.
Exams, tests,
Yeah,
that's all about it that we focus. But what I want to be, it was a fighter jet. Fighter jet pilot. Yeah, that was back.
Because that was the sexy job.
Yeah, I kind of got influenced by some of my peers and
Yeah.
friends when I was much younger.
Then reality comes crashing in while you study, and then reality hits. And what made all of us are where we are because of certain incidents in our life that led us to a fork, and we took one path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell me about that fork in your life that led you down this path.
Oh my goodness. 15, 16, 17.
Oh.
It was at that juncture. Because after that fighter jet pilot dream from my much younger days,
Yeah.
primary school days back in Singapore, I was then influenced by our Prime Minister.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yes, surprisingly.
Okay.
So he was sharing about the prospect of biomedical science. Back then, he was just the new Prime Minister.
Right,
He just
right.
came up. And then he was talking about the bright future of bioscience, medical stuff. So I applied naturally. There were 11 options during our Cambridge O-levels
Right.
exams, and I applied 10. And there were only 10, literally all the chemical life science. So the last one, 11, I closed my eyes. This is true. It's a real story. I flipped the paper of the different polytechnics courses that I can choose. Because I just point. Then it was business administration. Okay, just put it on business administration. Then the results came out. I failed my chemistry. I got D7.
no.
Yeah,
Okay.
below C6. So I failed all the science top 10.
Gone.
Cannot go.
Yeah.
Yeah, then by default, business admin. By default, I just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Things happen for a reason.
Of 100%.
Did you have that mindset in that time?
I was like, huh?
When yeah.
I like, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you're like that. So zun, so accurate. anyhow, so can go to business admin. And I ended up there. I was later on influenced again
Alright.
by at the elevator lifts in our polytechnic, outside our classrooms as well. We have business competitions. We have this thing called 5-5 at SP. I was from Singapore Polytechnic.
Right.
So 5-5 means Friday, 5 p.m. A lot of my peers, of classmates back then, invited me for movies. We chill out as a group of friends. Let's go for shopping, go Orchard Road town to have a meal or two. I couldn't, because I had committed every Friday, 5 p.m. There'll be an entrepreneur talk. So I network with quite a number of them. It's the seeds that you plant.
Yeah.
And then whether it will grow or not, you will get to know a few years or maybe a decade down the road as
You
a
never know.
student.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that is where that journey slowly came out. And I met my peers and friends back then and said, hey, why you waste your time on business competitions where you got a lot of schoolwork to do already, but the interest grew.
Right.
And that's where I know that's the path I want to go down as an entrepreneur.
Nice.
Interesting how you said, the seeds that you plant, may come into fruition, 1 year down the road, half a decade, one decade. What was the seed that you planted back then, right? That only came into fruition like after a decade.
Oak tree.
I think a lot of us might have known of the book, The Secret. You manifest those feeling and ideas, and you just put it out there to the universe on a positive thought, and you'll receive.
Yep.
Yes. So you just want to be successful, but you need to be very much quantifiable in numbers and time.
I got a curious question. Any of your networks back then during that time still friends and still networking now with you? That
We talk about
college days.
5-5.
The 5-5.
SP,
Yeah.
the first speaker ever. And if she was, she's gonna watch this. If she's gonna watch. Her name is Goh Yiping.
Okay.
She was the first speaker at 5-5 at SP. And she's a very successful entrepreneur today. Back then, I was a poly student. She probably just graduated from university, and she got this pool of money that she won from the university, and she got a startup. Did not turn out too well. Her first startup back then, I remember it was, I think, Wi-Fi on a plane back then.
Okay.
Yeah, almost 2 decades ago. But it did not take off. But look at how Wi-Fi on plane now is so common.
Yeah.
So it's about the timing also. So and moving forward, I saw her business successes. I learned from her LinkedIn post, and she's an investor now. She has a great family. She's happy. And I'm happy for her. But back then when I saw her, and she still looks youthful, she's probably watching this. So yeah, it actually, it's quite a journey.
Right.
My friends, my classmates, I don't think we are in touch anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Back then was still Friendster.
Yeah,
Friendster days,
Friendster.
Facebook days. Yeah.
But that's the funny thing. A lot of people don't know sometimes, like this 5-5 thing. You all went on your own path. You never know, you might bump into someone and like, hey, how's your business? And then suddenly you collaborated. And that was what networking is about as well. It's not just going down, listening to the person talking. Sometimes it's the person next to you go, hey bro, what you doing? Or hey sis, what you doing? And then finding out.
Yeah.
And then growing from there. Because based on the amount of times we've spoken to people sitting in that seat, the people that they speak to at a conference or a learning place next to them rather than a person on stage has brought them a lot as well. So yeah.
And you talked about manifestation, right? Yeah. So what was the most like whoa moment for you that told you that this manifestation thing is real?
There are so many circumstances that we had. Actually, I learned this. I talk about the very first time I encountered this. This was in army.
Okay.
During my military days, and we were very excited about this book and video, The Secret. We watched it as soldiers back then, and we know where our target is in terms of our enemies back then during our training, and we manifest in terms of visualization.
Okay.
How do we attack? How do we conquer a certain objective? So this translates back many years later, and even till today, of how what we want to achieve in life, what type of joy or happiness.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that is in a very general sense, but it all started from my military days. I think that's another pivotal point of mine.
Okay, since you brought it up, I'm going to ask. I'm sure you manifest something in 10 years' time. What's that idea? Tell me, man.
Maybe less than 10 years.
Yeah, maybe less than 10 years. Tell me where's the... I'm sure you got a destination to your journey. And I'm sure there's a lot more, to grow within this business itself, which is something that will never go away. So, where's the journey, man?
If I could, for the first time in public,
okay.
announcing that, because it was quite private for some, would be no longer be the CEO. Be the chairman. and let the CEO go and work lah. Executive operation officer, you have to go and work operationally. Get another CEO to take over me as a chairman. I will be in Hawaii, sipping some mocktail, whiskey at the beach, and just, what's the matter? Once a month, find me can already. That's how I'm manifesting. Maximum twice a month. I still collect my director fee.
I like that. I like that.
But the advisory role is very important.
Yeah,
so I
of
was
course.
just like, you know what? Just chill by the beach in Hawaii.
Yeah. And why Hawaii?
I think that's where my parents went for their honeymoon.
Right.
That was where I was created.
Going back to
the
origins.
Going back to source. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So you brought this up. You said, being CEO is not easy. How do you find time for yourself? Because, look, a lot of people believe in the hustle culture. Hustle. But the truth is, if you hustle too much without taking breaks, you will break, you will fall. Every successful person I've met has always said, learn how to break, learn how to stop, learn how to pause, then move forward. Don't just go away. So what's your pause? What do you do to chill?
2 examples.
Okay.
The very first one is always find your me time, alone time. My personal space, which I cannot find in KL, that's why only in Singapore I will go back to East Coast Park Beach.
Right.
So I will have my me time alone without the phone. It will be in airplane mode, and I will just be with me, myself, and I.
Right.
With nature. And I will do it periodically whenever I could. Once a month, if not once every 2 months.
Right.
Whenever I go back to Singapore.
Right.
So that is a routine, a habit that I created. The second part is every day I will have only the top 3 things to do. And I will only check email on average twice a day. Yeah. If you keep consistently look for something, it will come definitely.
You're manifesting.
Productive.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So that is my trick to having my me time and self-improvement with the organization. So I do my planning, I think which departments or which region, which country, what to do. And then with that time alone, doing the planning operationally, the strategies moving forward, you will have clarity. You have a clear mind. And you will not be just on the surface like what we shared earlier on. Digital signage cheap can already. Let's do price penetration. Just throw our pricing. That can be done. That's the lazy way out.
Yeah.
What do people want? Human beings are always illogical.
Yeah.
And we are never as practical as what we think. So what do we want? That's the core purpose and message we need to ask ourselves.
Fair enough. From that, back to what do we want? Being human, you brought it up. We are humans. There are moments where sometimes we hit a low, a curve, a bottom. Sometimes we feel the imposter syndrome, like, why am I here? Am I actually the expert in this? Do I know what I'm doing? How do you overcome your moments like that? I'm sure it's far and few in between, but how do you come about? Just to remind, it's human to have bad days. It's okay. It doesn't mean you're bad. It's just being human. How do you deal with it?
We all have our own way and outlet, and I think most important is the mindset.
Yeah.
And if you're already at the bottom, how worse can it get? If you're already at the bottom, you can only bounce back. You have that mentality. There's nothing else. And why is it called present?
Yeah.
Because the present moment, you have to unwrap it, and you are still breathing. You are still alive. How many people realistically are struggling to stay alive? They are at war, or they are in a hospital bed. We are so much luckier in this present state. So, unwrap the present. The moment is now. I have a temporary tattoo occasionally. It lasts for 2 weeks only. And that 3 words is purpose, moment, now.
Who gave you that present?
Myself.
Wow. No, but that's a present. That's something, you see, like for me, I live by my father's words, which is, it's not your aptitude, but your attitude that decides your altitude. So I always believe that it's not how smart you are, it's what you put into your work. So I believe that. So I was curious who gave you your present. My present was my dad. You found your present. Well done. It's like manifested to
Download,
you.
download.
I like it.
So when was this downloaded to you?
I attended an inspirational talk. So I differentiate motivation and inspiration.
Yeah.
Motivational talks, it will give you momentum for, like, charging of battery on
Right.
your phone. You need it every few months or every few weeks. You need to motivate yourself even daily. But inspiration talks or seminars that I attended is my turning point. Wouldn't want to publicize for that company. yeah, sensitive, man. So I attended one, and it is really inspiring. And there is this quote that I bring always in my life: be, do, have. It always starts with being. I know a lot of people like to be, reach, but being reach first, it starts from that being, not the doing. How many times do a lot of business entrepreneurs out there, they do a business, but they are not rich, they are not being rich. They have employees, good employees, but they are not using the resources in the right way. It's like having 10 ladders stacked up horizontally, or just need one ladder vertically. So that is where we need to start with the being. When you are being rich in your heart, without the dollar and cents yet, you're open to going for coffee, you're open to going to network, you're open, why not do this? Go with the flow, and you naturally do things, and you have money. And another example is people talk about love. So the love part is, I need to be in love and such. So how many times I need to do swipe? Swipe left, swipe right, your apps. But they don't necessarily be in love. And then how many times do they say, I need to have a sports car, I need to have a nice house, but you don't have true love. So start off with being loving first. With that loving heart, you give love to orphanage, old age homes, elderlies, and then you may find, because you do it naturally, you may have the opportunity to find the love of life in those places. So there are so many things that we want to do or have. It's not necessary to do and have. Then you will become that person or become something that you want to be. Start the being.
I like
be, do, have. And that was what I took away from that course. And that is also one of my turning points. Yeah.
And so one of the things that you started off with your temporary tattoo, right, is purpose.
Yes.
What is your purpose?
3 contracts from there. Being open-minded, open to receiving things. Things can go wrong, but having that open mind, at least the window is open.
Right.
So the next one is committed. The commitment to have that drive towards a certain destination or the road, but the process, of course, we enjoy along the way. And that's where the commitment. I want it, I do it. Action speak louder than words. That's where commitment comes into play. Third, being joyful. Just being happy.
Yeah.
And happy is something that we most human beings, I mean, we all want that, right? I would say. Yeah, but that joy from within, you can feel it. That open-mindedness and what comes to you, you create it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And each of us have a different measure of happiness. We cannot try and judge our happiness based on someone else's measure.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people are miserable because they're like, I see that fella happy, I want to be like him, and then you're upset. Even though you reach what they get, it's not the same. You've got to find your own definition of it. All right. I want to pivot a bit to the future. Okay. You look at customer trends and stuff like that. It slowly is moving towards more digital, online building, buying, that kind of thing. Do you think in-store will ever fade? Or do you think it's a business that will, in-store businesses will always be there?
Never say never. Changes are always constantly evolving.
Right.
So we do not know about the future, but what we can look at is trends. And a lot of people in the retail space, online space, they say e-commerce, m-commerce is the way to go. It's so easy. But because it's so easy, your barrier to entry is so low, your competition is ultra high.
Correct.
Worse than physical spaces. Next, your marketing dollars you to pump in because you're competing with so many people, it's actually a lot more too. Your cost is much higher than the physical space where impulse buying takes place. The experience is there. And third, in e-commerce or m-commerce space, we actually look into how we find it so difficult to stand out. How do we say that me and not you? Because selling of product A, you got millions of people doing it online. So it's actually not that cheap or not that low cost. Yeah, you look at the live streamers and such, it's just like musicians. It's only the top 0.00001 that is successful. The 99.9999 just isn't there yet. So that is the trend which I see physical space at this point of time still strives. And the only advantage that they have as compared to e-commerce and m-commerce is the experience. So go to uc.global now.
I like that. I like that.
So would you say, you know, in your past decade in this industry, going through the pandemic with the lockdowns, right? Was it a blessing or a curse?
We take things positively. Yeah, so everything happens for a reason.
Right.
You go with the flow, and people say that, oh, shit happens. But shit is a fertilizer. So if you use that as a fertilizer, it will grow and bloom with delight. So we take shit positively. Is that I hope more shit happen to you.
All right. Yeah. So
how much have you pivoted from that? I mean, like, what was your learning experience from MCO?
Wow. We did.
I'm sure there's a lot of changes.
A lot. That is. Wow. This too much. It's too much.
Okay, the top one. Top one. Because I know a lot of companies realize that all of a sudden they realize the kink in the armor. Or like, oh, we never saw this kink. So you fixed a lot of holes, right? So that if ever it happens again, you can float. So the question is, what was the biggest change when it came to after MCO? Like, we've got to look into this just in case.
System. Better systems. When we do business, I think you do not want to be like a solopreneur in a way that you do things yourself. You handle that. The delegation is not there. Even you delegate, you also need to overlook. However, if you have a good system in place, step 1, step 2, step 3, the SOPs, they are within that framework. Yes, there are certain times that things happen that cannot be very strictly confined in a certain space. But what you can do is, as much as possible, you systemize things, make it a better system with the right standard operation procedures. Your processes will be streamlined, less work, more productivity. So that's what I got from the MCO days.
Less work, more productivity.
Yeah, right. Because that's what we had. Less work during MCO. Just sit around
eating, watching Netflix.
Call friend, hey, you okay? You okay? Yeah. Then look at the neighbor, hey, you okay? That's all we had. But yeah, a lot of businesses switched, pivoted, and moved, and I like that. That's cool.
So one last question before we end the session, right? So, you know, going through all the different senses, right? Do you find that, be it sense, music, or sights, it cuts across all cultures? Like, you know, the same music will have the same effect across all cultures? Or is there a difference?
There is a difference. I'll start off with communications, because communicating the senses in the 3 S's that we do, sound, sight, and scent, has this magic number, 55387. 55% of the time we communicate is through body language. 38 tone. 7% is the words that we say. Similarly, what do we want to convey in all this sensory experience to the process of a shopper's journey? So that's how we want to carry things forward, in a sense that, do you know how you would feel, or how your shoppers will feel and communicate, not just generally, because music, they say, is a universal language, but is it? Chinese New Year is coming up. Chinese New Year music songs are very vibrant in Malaysia. Singapore, very traditional. Taiwan has their own music. Vietnam is called Tet. T-E-T. So, it's actually very different. The vibes are different. It's same Chinese New Year, but different vibes. So there are certain modifications. The fundamental basic is still there, just like the 55387 story I shared. But there are certain differences. It's what content that you put inside.
Right.
Strategy, content strategy, the tweaking. Therefore, you will be able to not only have an alignment on a brand outlook overall, you know who you are already, but it's the different clothes, the different jacket. But still have to wear underwear lah. That one. So the basic the fundamental
No
is there.
commando.
Yeah. So the jacket is just different.
So I know now everyone's watching it. How do you get in touch with this guy? Well, there's so many ways. One of the important things is go to their website.
Yes.
That's one of the place where you go to
www.usea.global. Yes.
So USEA. So you see like the laut. Okay. Laut in case you want the C. All right. UC Global. Go check it out. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you can connect with Jerry on the LinkedIn as well. I'm looking at the numbers and he has quite a number of followers. 5,000 new followers over there.
Oh, it's always about sharing and having the purpose and conveying the message that is positive. Yeah.
And positivity is the key. Once you give out something, you get back. So once again, tell us the in the comment. This is just for fun. Tell us a smell or a scent that recalls a memory that you have. You're like, I remember coffees, and coffee reminds me of. Just put it down there. I want to see your stories when it comes to scent. All right. Because sound a lot of people got, but today let's just do scent. Put it in a comment and we'll continue this conversation in the comments. But Jerry, thank you so much for chatting with us, man.
Thank you so much. And if there is one last S you want to talk about, shit is good.
Remember that, everybody.
Yes.
Shit is good.
I
Make it
hope
a
we didn't have to
fertilizer.
bleep that. But, there you go.
Sorry to the people in the UK. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.